You open the door and step inside. It's hot and dark, but you can just about make out the outlines of the furniture. The only light comes from the hallway behind you, illuminating fine dust motes dancing in the still air. You push open another door and it creaks ominously. Maybe this place really is haunted. Or maybe something else entirely. Let's investigate. A chill wind suddenly sweeps through the room, slamming the door shut with a resounding boom. But when you turn to look, there's no window open anywhere. In fact, every window in this old house has been boarded up for years. All the doors are closed, too, including the one you came in through, which now won't budge. Panic starts to set in. What the hell just happened? Is this some kind of horror movie now? Are you trapped in a haunted house with no way out? Or is there a more rational explanation? Let's find out. It's time to play something moved behind the door. It's a supernatural mystery game by Cardboard Sword. This is the same developer who brought us the amazing murder mystery game My Lovely Daughter, which I highly recommend checking out if you haven't already. In Something Moved Behind the Door, you play as a paranormal investigator who arrives at a supposedly haunted house to check it out for yourself. And boy, do you quickly learn that this place is creepy as all hell? The game is entirely text-based, so there's no graphics or voice acting or music to speak of. Just a whole lot of atmosphere created through the power of your imagination and the excellent writing. The story unfolds through a series of text boxes where you'll read about the setting, the characters, and the plot. At any moment, you can click on anything that stands out to you and hopefully move the story forward. There's usually only one option at a time, but sometimes you'll have 2 or 3 to choose from. At first, it's pretty slow-paced. You explore the house, solve some puzzles, uncover its secrets, discover clues about what happened here in the past, and learn how to use some of the items you find to progress. And all the while, an eerie sense of dread slowly builds. It's like you can feel the eyes of the house boring into you from every boarded-up window and darkened doorway. The tension mounts and mounts until suddenly things get really crazy, really fast. Without giving anything away, let's just say that the last thing you'd expect is exactly what you get. To win, you need to figure out what's haunting this house and then confront it. Sounds easy enough, right? Well, the problem is this house isn't just haunted by one ghost. There are actually 4 ghosts here, each with their own tragic story and their own unfinished business. To find them, you must explore the house thoroughly and search for clues related to each of their backstories. These clues can be subtle, though, and easy to miss, which makes the game feel all the more immersive and realistic. After all, if you were really investigating a haunted house, you wouldn't know where to start either. So it makes sense that you'd have to explore every nook and cranny, looking for anything that might give you a hint as to what to do next. There are also red herrings galore to keep you on your toes. One particular ghost is especially tricky because they seem to appear and interact with you directly, seemingly trying to help you by dropping hints. But are they really on your side? You'll have to decide for yourself. As I played through the game, I found myself constantly questioning my own sanity. Was I going crazy, or was this house truly haunted? As the story unfolded, I felt like I was really there experiencing everything firsthand. The descriptions were so vivid and detailed. I could practically feel the cold drafts on my skin and hear the floorboards creaking under my weight. Now, don't get me wrong, the story is fantastic. But I'm going to be real with you. I had a hard time getting into it at first. See, this game is entirely text-based. There's no graphics or sound effects or music to draw you in and set the mood. Instead, it's up to your imagination to fill in the blanks, which is great if you're into that sort of thing. Personally, though, I prefer games that rely less on imagination and more on production values. I mean, don't get me wrong, the writing is top-notch and the story's genuinely creepy. But it just took me a little longer than usual to get immersed in the world. That said, once I did get sucked in, I was hooked. I couldn't put the game down and I ended up playing it in one sitting without realizing it. It was so engrossing that I didn't even mind the lack of visuals because my mind was already providing them for me. The other thing I want to talk about is the pacing. Something Moved Behind the Door is not for those who like their stories served straight up with no room for subtlety or ambiguity. This is a slow burn, a creeping dread that sets in over time and culminates in a shocking twist ending. If that sounds good to you, then you'll love this game. But if you prefer your narratives fast-paced and full of action, this might not be the right fit for you. That said, I personally enjoyed the slower pace. It allowed me to fully immerse myself in the story and savor every moment of dread and suspense. Plus, it made the eventual payoff that much more satisfying. I'm not gonna lie though, there were times when I wanted to just skip ahead to the good stuff. Luckily, there is a built-in skip button so I could breeze through the slower parts whenever I wanted. The final thing I want to discuss is replay value. With a game like this, you're probably wondering if there's enough here to warrant multiple playthroughs. The answer, in my opinion, is yes. Not only is the story fantastic, but there's also branching storylines and multiple endings depending on the choices you make. There are also plenty of red herrings and false leads to keep you on your toes, which means you might miss something important on your first go-round. If you like figuring out every little detail and uncovering all the secrets, you'll definitely want to play this game more than once. Plus, the more you play, the better you get at spotting the clues and solving the puzzles. Each subsequent playthrough will be faster and easier than the last, which adds to the overall replay value. Overall, Something Moved Behind the Door is a game that demands your full attention and will reward you for it with a truly unforgettable experience. The story is gripping and atmospheric, the puzzles are challenging but fair, and the ending will leave you breathless. Now, it's your turn to play detective and figure out what's haunting this house. Who knows? You might just be able to help these lost souls find peace, or maybe you'll end up joining them.